Hello everyone, just a quick intro to the video or podcast that you're about to consume. This is a question and answer with a viewer or listener, and I just want to let you know that while the information is very good for this episode, the audio quality for the listener is not that good. This was done live, and I did as much editing as was possible for the audio quality without losing any more quality. So please bear with me. What he said is still understandable if you listen closely. Obviously, what I said is still perfectly understandable, and I think you can still glean what he said through context when he wasn't understandable at times. But it's still a good episode. I think you'll benefit from it. And if you were not able to understand it, then please contact me via email. This might be one where I have to actually go through and add some subtitles. Who knows? It might be a good thing to do. So just let me know. All right, let's move on to the episode. Hello everyone, it's DJ, and welcome to another edition of RC Retirement. Today I'm doing an interview with John. He's got some interesting questions about continuation on active reserve, as well as some questions about how to fix problems with his retirement points. Pardon me for looking at the audio recorder for a few seconds there. So I'm going to be trying to record some video with John here, but he's asked that we just show his audio portion, so I'm not going to be showing John's face. So whenever John's talking, I'll just throw up, as I always do for interviews, I'll throw up an icon to show John's likeness, or just an avatar. But John's got some good questions for us. I think it will be beneficial for everyone who has similar questions to learn from his experience. John's got some time on his hands to answer questions. He's stuck in traffic right now, so let's make use of the time and maybe help him out a little bit. He can help us out, and we all benefit. So, John, thank you for joining us on the RC Retirement YouTube channel, and simultaneously you're going to be on the podcast as well, so thank you for being part of the program.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to have up on my other screen the email you sent me this morning, and I'm going to, if you don't mind, I'm going to read parts of it off.
Sure.
All right, you say here that you were AGR and that you were going through the medical evaluation boards, and they gave you a decision last month, and you have submitted a formal appeal which you expect will take place in April. You want to submit a continuation on active reserve packet, but naturally there's no guarantee that will be approved. You have some bad time on your retirement point statement, and you're being told by your full-time staff and by what you read in regulations that it's difficult to make up that time. Now, one thing that I'm going to point out from your email is you keep saying here, fiscal year whatever. And I'm going to reach out and slap you on the hand there. Retirement years and fiscal years are totally different things. All right. And just so the audience can see what I see, I'm going to bring John's point statement over onto the screen. The area where you were concerned was specifically the time that you were in the inactive National Guard, correct?
Yes.
All right. And that really wasn't that long. That was only about 3 months.
Correct.
That is not your problem. What I see as the problem is it looks like you're in a medical holding unit and they're not letting you drill very often.
What's happening is that since I'm collecting VA disability, they told me I can only drill for points, and they give us credit for they pay us for one MUTA in order to keep our life insurance. So what happened was, through the retirement office, ZCash is only showing one MUTA for each drill. I completed 12 drills that year, and they said they're going to get that fixed.
So you're drilling for points?
Yes.
Okay, well, they are not reflected on this statement because you have a bad year for 2018.
Correct. Yeah, that's the part that's getting squared away.
Okay. That is what I was warning you about earlier because
okay.
Because that just jumped out at me when I opened this up. It's like, wait a minute, this is not cool. And actually, your state is wrong. You can drill, but you'd have to do the math to figure out, what's more beneficial for you based on your rating. Whether it's better for you to have VA comp or drill pay. And being that I know your pay grade, I would be willing to bet it's better for you to have drill pay and unless you have 100% VA.
I do.
Well, even so, do you mind if I give your pay grade over the air?
Sure.
Okay, you're an E7. An E7's pay grade is higher per month than 100% VA. In fact, I'm pulling up my calculator. I'm going to go to my VA versus drill pay calculation tab. Waiting for that to load. We might get all kinds of interesting stuff here. All right, VA versus drill. So, are you married?
Say again?
Are you married?
No.
All right, so just you.
And 2 dependents.
All right. So, VA compensation for you is $31.71 per month, and base pay as an E7 is $46.25 per month. So VA comp is $105 per day, and the daily pay for an E7 is $154 per day. So you're losing $50 a day for every day that you're not being allowed to. Well, actually, on a drill day, you're losing $100 a day for every day you're not being allowed to drill for pay. So you need to kick your full-time staff in the head and tell them you want to drill for pay.
And do I inform the VA that I'm drilling for pay, and they make the adjustment on their end, correct?
Right. In fact, when this Q&A is over, I'll send you a link to my video about taking drill pay in lieu of VA comp and what you need to do in that circumstance. It's very simple. It's one form you do at the end of each fiscal year, and they'll just turn off VA comp for the number of days that you received for the number of days you received military pay. It's very simple.
Sounds good. Thank you.
In fact, I'm going to save this calculation and email it to you so you can see the same numbers I see. All right. Now, that's a nice little thing to learn. But in the meantime, definitely get those drill for points things squared away, because that's a manual update, and you don't want to let that slip by.
Yeah, my unit sent them, I believe it's called, what's the drill, Rod, the MMPR, is that the correct paperwork for drill attendance?
DA 1379.
Okay.
You're thinking MMPA, Master Military Pay Account, but the problem is drilling for points does not show up as a code on a pay account statement. So you've only got the 1379, the drill attendance roster, as proof of drilling for points.
Yeah, my unit did send that over to the retirement officer, so.
Yeah. See how twisted this becomes?
Yeah. I mean, there's so many people in my unit right now that are going through the same thing. It's a systematic problem.
Beautiful. Well, when I send this link over, share it. It sounds like they need to know this too. Sounds like you might have to get your whole company, as subscribers to my channel.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's see here. Some other stuff that was in your email. If you don't mind my asking, what was the nature of your appeal for the medical board?
I just wanted to add a few more things that weren't. I maxed out on the appeal, like as far as the percentage, 75%. But there was a couple of things that weren't added that I would like, the Army to have accountability for being unfit. You never know in the future, laws change and things like that. So I was just trying to cover myself.
All right, fair enough. So you're fully aware it won't affect K or anything like that. You just want accountability.
Yes.
All right. And you won't have to drive as far as I did. You'll have to go to D.C. for that.
Yeah, they were telling me maybe Fort Sam Houston. I don't know. I think that's where they have them now. I'm not sure 100%.
Mine was at D.C. Was in D.C. And and I'm pretty sure that's where yours will be too.
Hope so.
So if so, it won't be that far for you.
Yeah.
Now, for COAR, have you talked to your Pueblo, your liaison officer, about doing a packet for this?
I did, and it's kind of weird. The person's been very helpful, but they're like, we've never seen somebody, get extended for that long. And I'm like, it would be less than a year. So in a way, I'm not going to say they're discouraging it. I don't know if it causes a lot of extra paperwork or backlog in cases, but I'm so close to my 20 years, so so she understands. She understands, and I'm going to start get that started.
Well, if your formal appeal takes place in April, and they cut your discharge order anywhere after that, assuming you get your 23 corrected, you might cross over the 20-year mark. I'd have to do some calculations, but you might cross over the 20-year mark after the discharge order's cut.
And that's one of the questions I had. I know they changed my anniversary years in general, but would that be 20 good years? That's the big confusion part I have.
All right. The RPAM database, the Retirement Points Accounting Management database, normally only goes with full years when you're serving. But when you discharge, it recalculates everything. So,
yes.
Let's see. Your anniversary year right now is, or your anniversary year end date is December 28th. So, So as long as your discharge date is May 1st or later, when RPAM does the recalculation, assuming you have sufficient points all the way up to May 1st, then you're going to have sufficient years. You're going to have 20 good years. You're going to be fine.
Oh, that's great.
Now, let me look up what that's going to be. Because those 7 months and some odd days are going to still count. And
I just completed a drill this month.
Well, let me see what the point breakdown is. Oh, heck. Get at least 25 points if you can, and then we know you're going to be fine.
Okay, so I'm definitely going to drill for pay so we don't have this confusion again with the RCAM, with the retirement points.
Found it. Here we go. Retirement points for partial years. And we're just going to say that's 150 days, 5 months. Actually, we're saying 4 months. So 100, let's just say 130 days. You need a minimum of 18 points. Let's shoot for 20 just to be safe. Always shoot high. I'm going to still say go for 25. Which shouldn't be hard. But remember, we're talking about, well, yeah, we're already talking about, this month forward, so, there's not a lot of time. But you also have membership points that you can count in there as well. And if you were drilling for points prior to that, you should still be fine. So, where's your RPAM NCO located? How far away is he? Can you reach out and touch him?
Yeah, I have a couple times, and it's like the coordination between the unit sending the what was the 1379 or what was the other one, the acronym NAPA.
MMPA, Mike Papa Alpha.
Yeah, they requested that statement, which my unit did send. So I guess I got to get a little more assertive on it.
Yeah. If it means going up and sitting in front of him, I'd do it.
No, you're absolutely right.
When you're this close to the finish line, it's worth it.
I agree.
All right. Especially when the slightest hiccup could cost you everything. And the reason we want that 20 is that's the difference between concurrent receipt or not later on.
Correct, yes. That's why I'm fighting for it so hard.
In fact, now here's the funny thing. When I was reading your email, one of the last things you put in it was, some S1 people are telling me that I have to make up the ING time to get a good year, or possibly move around anniversary dates. And I was just shaking my head, thinking, for S1 people, they surely don't know S1 stuff very well.
And in their defense, because I didn't really know this, we didn't really get into depth to it. I think maybe what you explained as far as getting out those extra 4 or 5 months, that could have been it too. So I didn't have a clear understanding on what they were trying to do. I picked up bits and pieces of it.
Well, I'm not going to slam them too much because, admittedly, retirement is a complex field, and the typical S1 guy doesn't get that deep in the weeds with it. I was a company and battalion level S1 for several years, and I was interested in it and probably deeper in it than most, but even I couldn't have explained how to fix this kind of stuff back then. So I'm not going to bash them too much. But it's still amazing that they'd give that kind of advice rather than saying, I don't know, let's call someone who does. Now, as far as actually doing the packet, did you ever get anyone who was able to help you in any way with preparation for it?
I still have to take that route. I printed out everything. I did the 4187. I have the 199. But the question with the 199 is, will it possibly change after the formal appeal if I go for it?
Yes.
And then I know I have to hit. Okay.
After the formal board, you'll get a DA form 199-1, which is a similar form, is just for a formal board.
Okay.
Stating any changes that have occurred as a result of that board. So, you might want, I would say go ahead and do as much prep as you can based on my video about COAR, and just don't submit anything 199 related yet until you.
I'm sorry.
No. I was pretty much done. Just hold off on submitting anything until you have the 199-1.
Okay.
And you will also get updated VA documents if needed as a result as well. Just to keep that in mind. Or at least I did. I had to request it, but I did.
Can I be proactive and go to my commander and get the, I guess it would be the suitability or your physical requirements, that one form that for your capability, so you can still do your position?
Yes.
Okay.
You can be as proactive as you want. In fact, I'd recommend it. Because
and then I can submit the whole packet. I can submit the whole packet once I get the final 199-1.
Correct. Because remember, you only have 10 days once that final decision comes down.
Okay.
That same 10 days that you have to accept or deny the recommendation from the board is the time that you have to submit the COAR packet.
Okay. And once that's submitted, the COAR packet, do you know how long the pipeline is for approval, denial?
I don't.
Okay.
So if you submit this, I would ask you to be my little snitch and let me know.
I will.
Be my little bird, as what's the guy on Game of Thrones, Lord Varys or something like that? The bald guy.
The Whisperer.
Yes. Yeah. Be the little bird that tells me how long these take. What's your MOS?
Right now it's communications, and it's also infantry.
Okay. I was going to say, if it was only infantry, then your odds might be a little slim. But with a combo MOS, with multiple MOSs, your chances are better. And all that AGR time, your skills gained from that should help as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's everything in your email. What other questions do you have?
No, it really clarified as far as getting the 20 years. I have, like you said, with the concurrent receipt when I turn 60, that'd be thousands and thousands of dollars off the table. So it'd be heartbreaking if it was due just to a few months. So.
Yes, absolutely. That really would. Or at least to say, it would be heartbreaking if you never tried, at least. But I do think since you're so close to the wire, that you're probably going to hit that regardless.
Yeah.
But, better safe.
Absolutely. And it all depends, some people in my unit that are going through the same process, sometimes it takes them 30 days to get orders, 60 days to get orders, it depends on how backlogged they are. So even after a formal appeal, hopefully, at least takes a month.
Well, they might be surprised. When I accepted my formal decision, I had orders pretty darn quick. Like 4 days, 5 days later.
Okay, so it looks like it's imperative to submit the COAR once I get my rating back.
Yeah. So, because once you say yes, things move fast.
So, the minute I get it, I'll get all the other paperwork done in the meantime until my board hearing. And once I get the board back, I'll submit the COAR.
All right. Well, please keep me informed.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, I think we've covered everything, and we're almost at the 30-minute mark. So how about we go ahead and call it quits?
Yeah, sounds good. I appreciate all your help, and hopefully this helps other people.
I think it will. Well, thank you, John. Thank you for giving me your time today, and have a good evening.
You too.
Yep, thank you much. Bye-bye. All right, everyone. That's it for the chat with John. I think that was a good informal conversation. You saw some interesting things on the screen there, and hopefully that will be informative for others of you out there and beneficial, educational for others who are going through the same sorts of things. And you can learn from either his mistakes or his right answers. All right, so that's all that I've got for today. Thank you for joining me for this episode. I hope this was useful for all of you out there. If you know anyone for whom it would be beneficial, please forward it to that individual. And of course, I always mess that up. Of course, please come over and hit that subscribe button. Help me get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. That would be a wonderful little goal to hit. If you would like to support this program in one of two small ways. There are two ways you can do that. There is shopping on Amazon. You can go click the radio tab at rcretirement.com and click the affiliate links to go to Amazon, or just click shop at Amazon on the main page and buy whatever you like, and I'll get a small commission for whatever you buy. It'll cost you nothing extra. And another option is you can go to patreon.com/rcretirement, or go to the main page and click join Patreon campaign, and either join one of the several tiers of monthly support or create your own level of monthly support and support the program in that way as well. Either way would be a most appreciated way to help keep this program going, because as I said a little while earlier, about a month ago now, this is now my full-time profession. This is what I do, because I have now retired from the National Guard, and this, RC Retirement, is what I do. DJ is now a private entity. He is a free agent. So please help me out there. All right. So thank you again to John for his time, and hopefully that can help others of you out there learn what can be done to both get things fixed on your retirement points, get things fixed on the medical board side, and even a few little tricks here and there for VA pay and the like. I'll put some links in the show notes regarding everything we discussed so that you can better learn from everything we discussed. Once again, thank you for being part of this audience, and most of all, thank you for your service. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.